Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
I don't know what happened there. It was
New approach.
a ghostly apparition. I tell you what, though,
I'll tell you
Dan.
what's happened there. You're giddy.
I am giddy. What a difference 6 goals makes.
Yeah, and 6 points.
All the sixes. The number of
Number of the beast.
the beast.
Who is the beast? Bowman, presumably.
Yeah, Beastly Bowman. Yeah, lovely.
He looks a bit like a kind of like devil, doesn't he? Sort of,
Oh,
doesn't he?
yeah. Or vampire.
Vampire from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Slightly.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
He absolutely does look like that. Never thought about it before.
Yep.
Well,
Joss Whedon, if you're trying to do a reboot.
oh no, don't talk about him. He's
Has he done something wrong? Has he?
he's been Me Too'd.
Right, okay.
Whedon, see you later. But not see you later. Ryan Bowman, nice work. Lovely to see you back. What a difference.
Yeah, so last time we were with you, we were crying about how bad we were. And this time, we flip-flopped to giddy about how good we are.
Yeah.
That's not quite that simple.
Oh, it was.
Your tea's gone down the wrong way, so I'll fill. We did... Oh, I know we've got a bit of a... always feel like we've got a bit of a habit of doing this, going like, we won, we're the best, we lost, we're going to get it relegated, you know, like... But... I
Ever
think
it was
there's a few.
thus.
I think there's a few kind of. There's plenty of to add here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Firstly, so we beat
Orient.
Leyton Orient 4-0
Yeah.
last Saturday, and then last night, Tuesday, we beat Scunthorpe United 2-0. 6 goals without reply, 3 clean sheets in a row if you count that Walsall 0-0.
Well, I do count that.
Well,
Walsall
yeah,
nil.
you have to. You have no choice. Bowman back in the side,
Not just back in the side.
making all the difference, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I've seen a lot of people say, we were wrong about Bowman. I can see the difference.
But it's
he
not
makes.
just Bowman, and
No.
you know what I mean. I tell you what else it is. It's Joel Randall being back. It's Lewis Page being back. It's Josh Key finding this. It's just kind of people coming into form at the right time.
It's Robbie Wilmot,
It's Robbie Wilmot. It's
Anderson.
yeah. It's yeah. And the one thing, also it's Alex Hartridge.
It's blimmin' Rory McArdle.
I know that was a couple of very ballsy performances from McArdle.
I think we should give them like a name, like Brangelina.
Yeah,
I think they should be like either McCartridge.
I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think that works.
What would be the other one?
Hardle.
Well, that would only apply to one of them now, presumably.
Oh. Anyway, I think it was magnificent. I don't think it was even... They weren't difficult opposition,
Oh, they really weren't.
but we approached it with a very positive mindset. And I want to put Matt Taylor at the top of that list because we lambasted him, didn't we, for his team choice against Crawley.
Yeah, we did, and I think that was an obvious, wasn't it? You know, I mean, yeah, I'm not. All I'm doing here is not trying to take full credit for it.
I think we'll take most of the credit.
I do want to. And in fact, yeah, maybe you could just arrange for his salary to be redirected into our bank accounts.
Yeah.
That might be fair.
Yeah.
No, but you know, he like if we play like that, if we set up and sort of go at games like that for the rest of the season, even if we then we don't get promoted and we don't make the playoffs, I think I'll be all right with it. You know.
Absolutely. I think, like we said last week, it's fair enough, isn't it? Like, we just give it an absolute good go. And that's what they've done over the past 2 games. So on Saturday, by the way, 2 teams, in a way, the name of the team and the name of the manager couldn't have been more different. They were like a juxtaposition. So we've got Leyton Orient with the manager Joby McAnuff, and then we got Scunthorpe United with the manager Neil Cox.
Yeah. Okay. I see where you're coming
Didn't seem
from.
to make any difference to their performances. They were both weak.
They were, weren't they? And you got to feel kind of like, I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah.
You know, like it wouldn't be much fun watching that as a Leyton Orient fan or as a Scunthorpe fan, would
I mean,
it? And,
Orient
and this season, you know they're not going down, so we haven't even got the excitement of, we need to fight for survival. None of that. It's just, I'm surprised. I mean, are they even watching? You know, they're paying £10 a game. I don't know if I would be.
I think
I mean, you probably would be because we're kind of we're kind of attached to these teams, aren't we? And it's something to do, and there's nothing else to do, is there? So they probably are, but I don't imagine it's much fun.
Orient started, didn't it? With actually our first goal was excellent. Bowman picks it up on the halfway line, back to goal, controls it really nicely. The stuff we kind of expect from him. Lays it off to Joel Randall, who runs through.
There's a lot of space in behind in there. I
Yeah.
mean, that was kind of Leyton Orient's first mistake, and they've got Jacoby Shaddix as the manager, and what does he know? I mean, pretty sure it's his first game in charge or something, and they just all the defenders up by the halfway line. Bowman flicks it on to Joel Randall, and then exactly what he needed. We're talking about how he's just so confident anyway, and loving his life out there. I thought he'd taken it too wide.
Yeah.
I thought he'd taken it. His touch was a little bit like, it's running away from him, but a lovely finish through the keeper's legs. And then that was it. We were away from there, weren't we? Really?
We were. So then the second goal was the Chilean goalkeeper in goal. Matt Jay has a shot. It goes through him and into the net. The Chilean goalkeeper, some would say he needs to improve his work around his Andes. Thank you very much.
Where that was going.
It was going absolutely nowhere.
I felt sorry for him. You have to be heartless to not, I think.
Yeah.
Poor little fella.
I know, terrible. It almost looked like it was going to come back off the post. That the singer of Papa Roach, who's now in charge of that club, he's trying to get some sort of new material for the post, some sort of new metal posts.
Okay.
Dear me, we got not much material.
Right. Well, he won't have a say because it's at St James's Park, wasn't it? So.
Oh yeah, joke done work. It was only that stopped the joke working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Matt Jay gets his first goal.
Yeah, and then I mean, we can talk about what else is there to say. We scored a couple more goals and that was it.
Well, I think what was good about City, particularly first half, was we didn't hold we went for it, didn't we? Foot on the net kind of stuff. So I think it was a good cross from Wilmot. Again, terrible defending from Orient. Joel Randall, we thought he would have got the goal. Ball comes back off that post, that new metal post. And Matt Jay probably had no right to score. Their defenders just kind of watched him.
Yeah, bundles it over the line, doesn't he? Yeah.
So 3-0 half-time, game's already sorted.
Oh, it really is. It's one of those games where you're never really concerned, even at 0-0.
No.
Never really concerned that they were going to cause us any problems at all.
Anderson had very little to do, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Didn't he tip one over the bar?
Yeah, that's not giving him enough credit.
They had a
he
free
really
kick,
commands
didn't
the
they?
box, doesn't he? It does feel like Maxted, who, by the way, he's got a really nasty finger injury, it's turned out.
Yeah. His fingers come off.
His fingers. Him and McArdle were in the surgery at the same time, and it was disastrous.
Don't tell me they've attached Johnny Maxted's finger where
I think so.
Corey McConnell's penis should be.
Yes, that's
and
what's
vice
happened.
versa.
That's what's happened. So McArdle needs a third pair of gloves. So that was. But Anderson, I think he commands the box just so nicely in a way that Ward kind of did when he was good, when he was on form.
I don't think ever to the same standard. He just comes for the stuff. I think is it just youthful exuberance or is it?
I think he's just a really good keeper, isn't he?
Yeah, it's that. It is just that. I don't want to take anything away from him. He's just a good goalie, isn't he? And
is he 19?
I don't know.
I mean, he's going to be.
He's young.
He's going to.
Can we have him for a bit longer?
There's talk of maybe next year because he's third or fourth choice at Reading, isn't he?
Right. Okay.
By Reading, I think they're still promotion candidates, aren't they? So,
okay.
I would think we've got quite a good chance of having him again next year.
Right. I've got a very nice dream scenario in my head, and I daren't even say it out loud.
Don't say it out loud; he'll curse us all.
But
yeah. So I think Anderson, he's just a really good goalkeeper, isn't he? And we won't keep him forever. I mean, we don't even own him, but. When he ascends up the leagues, we'll think, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think what we can do is kind of which is true a lot of the time. Is just watch on, enjoy his career further up or elsewhere. Hopefully. Anyway.
I'd love to see him come back to the Big Bank and be in front of us for a season, and that would be excellent. You could sing Islands in the Stream. His name goes nicely with the Dolly Parton song. Jokel Anderson. Think about it, Red Legion.
I mean, they don't exist anymore, so
yeah.
You
think about it from beyond the grave.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was 4. Oh no, so there was a penalty, wasn't there? Randall probably tackled outside the box. Matt Jay puts it away.
Miles outside the box. What happens there is that Matt J does such a good dummy that even the ref sold by it.
The ref's looking to where he thinks the ball's
ref's
gone.
back on the halfway line.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't think this is going nowhere near the goal. Oh, hang on a minute. Matt J's just like, it's delightful.
He's been...
I love a dummy. Who doesn't love a dummy? That's when executed well.
Yeah.
And then
Unfortunately for Leyton Orient, they had 11 dummies on the pitch, didn't they? But
no one likes to see that. But and then Randall gets taken down. Yeah, or very much outside of the area. But the ref gives a pen. I mean, we're sort of putting Orient out of their misery, I think, in a way. So
it was.
it didn't really matter.
Jay puts it away. Jay hat-trick.
Yeah. I mean, hardly a classic hat-trick, but it's his first hat-trick for City.
I think he's really come into his own.
Speaking of the firsts,
Yeah.
Jordan Dyer league debut,
Yeah. Nice to see.
which I kind of thought it had already happened, but apparently not.
Also, in credit to Taylor, of course, he made subs really quickly. Now, I know we were 3-0 up, but he gave a lot of players. He took Lewis Page off with half an hour to go, didn't he?
Well, it's nice to have the luxury to, innit? But if you put games to bed, you can afford to do that.
Absolutely. And I just think that is... There have been games definitely when Taylor could have done that and he hasn't done that. Maybe not 3-0, but definitely 2-0. And hopefully that's,
Yeah.
I just think he's really... These last two games, it's been really positive for Taylor. And
Yeah, he's got it right. I mean, the opposition have made it very easy for us in both games, but he's definitely got it right tactically both times, and just like the way we've set up, the way we've approached the games, and can't fault it.
No.
Brilliant to see, great to watch, just so nice to see us attacking like that, isn't it?
Yeah. And then we started last night's game, Scunthorpe United, the Sands Venue Stadium.
Let's come on to that after the...
We'll come on to that after the break. Yeah, so City and Matt J picked up where they left off Tuesday night. Scunthorpe, sunny Scunthorpe. We won 2-0.
Lovely ground.
Yeah, it was a lovely ground.
And very nice pitch as well, which really helped us out.
Yes. Yeah, suited our ball on the ground style entirely, didn't it?
Oh, really did, yeah.
But again, Scunthorpe didn't offer that much.
No.
I mean, they've really disappointed since they got relegated. Their fans must be more fed up than Orient. At least Orient have had some reason for the turmoil and the drop.
Yeah.
Scunthorpe, they were predicted to go straight back up last year, weren't they?
Yeah, and now they seem very much sort of League Two kind of fodder, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
So Neil Cox in charge.
Yeah, formerly of... Was he Leicester City? I can't remember.
Right. Speaking of Cox, McArdle used to play for Scunthorpe, of course.
Yeah, he did.
Big fan favourite there.
I mean, he was...
None of them there to see him, of course, so that's a shame.
He's been great, hasn't he? We were really giving him a hard time.
Yeah, we were. Mostly. Were we? I think
And it's been hard for him, hasn't it? Because his old school pal, Prince Philip's been in hospital, so he's been worrying about that. And then... I think at the beginning of the season, lots of people were like, why have we bought this guy?
I think now he's showing the reasons why he was bought in.
Yeah.
One, as backup.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what he's doing. Two, as kind of like the experience and kind of a bit of steel.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was saying, both these two teams made it quite easy for him and us.
Yeah.
But he's been defending the high balls into the box brilliantly, alongside Hartridge, who does it even better than him, if anything.
Yeah.
Talked about having a massive header on him.
Yeah.
Proper like kind of neck muscles.
Yeah, it is.
Hartridge,
Yeah.
Clear the pitch.
Yeah.
But the two of them together, yeah, great. But they haven't had to do much running, which is like good. And I mean, if I was questioning the two opposition managers, I'd say, have you not watched any of our games this season?
No, I think that's
we
true.
can be got at.
I also think we've improved in midfield. I think Wilmot is less likely to lose it than Randall Williams. I think that Key and Page...
Yeah, we may be a little bit more disciplined on the wings in those sort of duos on either side.
And I think Collins and Taylor is an excellent centre midfield in a way that, as we've often said with Atangana, you're much more likely to leave your centre-backs exposed. They just haven't been doing it. Like, I'm not saying the other teams have been good, because they haven't, but also I think we've just looked very confident and assured in ways that we haven't always done since October time, you know.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
So the first goal was, I can't remember who got the free kick. Was it Bowman?
I think it's Bowman won the free kick. Yeah,
So edge of the box, right-hand side. The commentator was very much on iFollow, was like, well, there's no way this is going to be a Matt J. This is going to be a Wilmot. Matt J stood at far too strange an angle. No problem. No problem.
he had the old David Beckham angle, didn't he?
Yeah,
90
very nice.
90 degrees. Yeah, whips it in. Direct free kick. Now, there's some discussion of when the last direct free kick we scored was.
Yeah, but we don't score many, of course.
Rare as rocking horse shit, aren't they? I think it was the old version of Lewis Page, that guy.
Brennan Dickinson.
Yeah.
Okay. I really can't picture it, but I believe you.
He didn't mean to. I don't think he meant to. He just sort of like... I think it might have been on his first game or something, or something like that. Or maybe...
Okay.
And he just kind of... It's kind of like a ball from deep, free kick to the back post, and it just goes... I think it went all the way in.
Yes.
And I get why that doesn't really count, but it does count.
Before that, we think maybe it was Jordan Moore-Taylor.
Yeah. Or who knows?
Who knows?
Harley.
Cliff Bastin.
Yeah.
It's been a while anyway. We're not regular free kick. Although Jay doesn't mind having a go, does he? And neither does Wilmot, as we're led to believe.
No. Who else used to have, like, Nicky Law would have one pop every now and then.
Ryan
really,
Harley,
and-
Lee Holmes,
yeah.
a few of those. But
We've-
yeah,
Since Matt Grimes, I don't think we haven't really had a kind of like free kick specialist, I'd say.
but Jay stepped up, full of confidence, full of beans.
Yeah, I
Put it
mean,
away
very
very
confident
nicely.
at the moment, isn't he? And quite rightly, you know. He's having a brilliant season.
Top scorer.
All the flicks, all the back heels and stuff. And I kind of got a couple of times in the Walsall game, I kind of found myself sort of going and like getting a bit frustrated with a bit of that. But you kind of got, I mean, but then you know you got to accept it, and because when it works and when he's firing and he's in, like, you know, it's so good to see, and he's really been good, hasn't he?
Really has. So that was 1-0 half time. Again, not much offered. Second half we came out and we had a lot of chances, didn't we? A lot of chances. Josh Key, Joel Randall, Jay. Bowman wasn't really threatening the goal, but he was excellent at the hold-up play and playing those guys in, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I like that because I think it makes him hungry to want to score, and eventually it will come because he's playing brilliantly. His hold-up play has been just excellent, you know. Bringing all those other players into play, and like I said, like the pitch made it for like, and now we've got this kind of like, say that's our first choice team going forward. Apart from Randell Williams, you know, you've got like, you can add in those, or just those combos between Collins, Jay, Joel Randall, Wilmot, both sides through the middle. It's tough to, and especially with a nice pitch.
Yeah.
And when they're all in form, Key as well, you know, and Page.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there and a lot of quality.
Yeah.
And when they're all, and it seems to be infectious as well. Do you know what I mean? So last night it seemed like they all wanted to get involved. They all were all on the same page. And yeah, the result was a lot of very good chances, which we actually couldn't quite finish until, you know, very late on. But you know, probably should have done.
So with his first league goal, which seems even more bizarre to me, Jack Sparks cut in from the left, took it on his right foot. I think the keeper was expecting it to go across the goal. Sparks put it in at the near post. Wonderful.
Yeah, on his right foot, which I didn't even think, I thought was just for leaning on, you know.
Did it very nicely.
I'm sure I've seen him crash one in from a distance,
Maybe
in
it's
front
not.
of the big
Yeah,
bank.
we have, but I think it wasn't a league goal. Can't remember what it was. So that was 2-0 City, game over. Very nicely done. Matt Taylor delighted.
That was basically the end. Right, it was about 89th minute, wasn't it?
Yes.
And we never really looked like conceding.
No.
Scunthorpe didn't offer
They had
much.
a couple of chances, didn't they? A couple that went across the goal, but
Yeah, a couple of flashes, but nothing really. And I thought Taylor brought Sweeney on.
yes.
Obviously back from his little injury, and he was brilliant again. You know, like didn't have much to do, but everything he did do is tidied everything up and stopped there being any kind of. I wasn't quite sure what happened with the formation, whether it was kind of Sweeney's on at right back, because then Caprice came on. for Key, and I couldn't quite tell what's going on because Joel Randall was still there anyway. Whatever it was, it kind of like it just kind of threw Scunthorpe enough
Yeah.
to be like, to let us back in again. And then I don't know, you can't keep going on about everyone, but Jake Taylor, in both these last 2 games has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Cleans up everything, like maybe not the most glamorous role in the team, but just doesn't make mistakes, and wins free kicks for us, which is so valuable. And like him and Collins, just like it's like you said earlier on, it's just when it's working, it's a good pair in that.
Does Randall Williams get back into this team?
I
mean, obviously he's a nice option.
Yeah,
the bench,
I think there's always space. I mean, you can't have all of them playing all the time, and it's a nice problem to have, though, isn't it? Especially with only a tiny bit of the season left.
Yeah.
So it's not like anything has to be done about this problem other than whoever plays. But yeah, we've got a lot of options now on the wings. If you include kind of the different kind of ways we play, if you include like Jake Caprice and Jack Sparks, are they wing backs? Are they full backs? Are they wingers? Josh Key, Page, Randell, Wilmot. There's loads of them.
Yeah.
So we'll see. There won't be many games. There's not many games left for Randell. I hope we get to see a bit more of him. Presumably he's going at the end of the season, but who knows?
Indeed. So, shall I tell you the league table? Tell you the current situation?
We'll go on then, because I think it's maybe going to look very different in a couple of weeks.
It's messy. I'll tell you that. So, Cheltenham, top, 59 points. They played 33.
And they lost last night.
Cambridge, second. They're on 58 points. That's one below Cheltenham. They've got the second best goal difference. They've played 35, however. Third, Forest Green. They drew last night. They've got 58 points as well, but they've played 2 less than Cambridge, 33. Tranmere, 33 games played, 57 points. Morecambe, 56 points, 34 games played. Newport in 6th, 54 points, 33 games played. Bolton in 7th, 34 games played, 54 points. So that's the playoff places. Exeter City just outside, 53 points. That means we're 6 points behind the leaders. But 2 games in hand over some of them. At least 1 game in hand over everyone above us. And 3 games in hand over Cambridge. But, to our massive credit, we've scored an enormous amount of goals. Way more than anyone else. 57. 7 more than Cambridge in second. And we've got plus 20 on the goal difference. Now, Cambridge is second best. They've got 2 less in the goal average than we have. But everyone else is way below us. So that's very helpful.
It's unusual for us. I
can't ever remember.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it last night, and I looked back. I thought, perhaps those 2 seasons when Jamie Curran was around, just because I was thinking he scored a lot of goals, and he got 20 the first time and 21 the second time, I think. But neither of those seasons, our goal difference was either 0 or -1 or plus. It was nothing. And maybe I don't know. Maybe there's other seasons I'm forgetting about, but I mean, I don't think we've had anything like this for a while.
No.
And yeah, it's not over yet, but it's not just that we've scored a lot of goals. It's plus 20.
Plus 20.
So that's like we're not conceding.
Well, I think we're 5th or 6th in the concessions,
right?
But we're highest in the goal scored.
I mean, it's strange, isn't it, that we're 8th with a goal difference of.
I guess the key difference, because of course goal difference isn't necessarily affected by games played.
No, of course, yeah.
So that's why we're.
I think I saw someone say we were 5th if it was points per game.
That's right, 5th. Yeah. But it's more than that, isn't it? Because we've got games coming up. We're in form, and we play a lot of those top teams in the next.
Yeah, well, the next 4 games are pretty crucial, aren't they?
They are. So
just quickly, I think.
Oh yeah.
On the fact that we've got games in hand, I don't know. We have to think about that. I'd rather we didn't, and we were all caught up, but nothing you can do about it.
No.
But you tend to look at them as, that's potential, but it might just be nothing. I don't know. It's not necessarily a positive, but I think sometimes it's always kind of like seen as a positive.
Yeah, because not Cheltenham. Carlisle had all those games in hand, and they still have quite a lot. but they've not won any of them. They've dropped down to 13th.
Well, aren't we about to have we're about to we're not playing this coming Tuesday either. So
No.
we're about to have even more games in hand, aren't we?
Yeah, I believe everyone plays Saturday.
I'm guessing
And
that's
then-
just that'll be good for us on the one hand because it gives us a chance to kind of rest the players.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like we're already behind. I guess that's just scheduling, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess probably most of those games are ones that have been put in because of cancellations, and then
Yeah.
our cancellation couldn't be fitted in. But yeah, so it's basically a full fixture list on Tuesday, except for us. That's not entirely true, but it's a lot of teams playing on the 16th or 17th, but not us. So here's the big run, isn't it? Or the first of the two big runs, I guess, for fixtures. So we play current top of the league Cheltenham. They've won the last 4 on Saturday. Then we play Tranmere, who currently sit in 4th or 5th. Then we play Oldham, who've just recently sacked their manager. And then we've got Salford. So that's 3 of our direct promotion rivals in the next 4 games.
Yeah,
Yikes.
it's the next 2 in it. I mean,
They're massive.
that shapes it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
Cheltenham, of
Cheltenham
course,
just lost, but just lost 3-1 last night.
and let's not forget that away game at Cheltenham. It was complete nonsense, wasn't it? We never should have lost that.
Yeah, and we beat Tranmere 5-0 at home.
Oh, yeah.
So this is none of these are like. It's just anything can happen, can't it?
Yeah, it can.
I think it's a good thing that we're going into these couple of hard games in very good form and high on confidence, and with very few injuries now, and suspensions and whatnot. Parks is where's Parks?
He's suspended, wasn't he? So suspended at Crawley. So he's now had 2 games off.
So he's just not
Well,
getting picked, is he?
Was that a 1-game suspension or a 2-game suspension?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either. That was where he kicked Matey and then had a fight with Matey, wasn't it?
Yes.
So it could have been either. It could have been 1 game or a 3-game. But he doesn't come in at the minute, I wouldn't say. I would say that those back 2... I don't know what Taylor thinks about McCardle.
Maybe it's opposition dependent. I'm not
Maybe.
sure. Parks has got a huge amount of pace on
McCardle.
yeah.
No.
McCartridge.
If it's a 3-man, does Sweeney slot in instead of Parks?
I don't know, but I think that's a different story altogether. If we're going to a 3-man, that's telling. That's our defensive mode.
Yeah.
And then that is just something that I hope that doesn't happen for nothing to do with the fact that we shouldn't be trying to crowbar Tom Parks into the team.
I just wonder if last night bringing Sweeney in was perhaps almost the practice run because obviously at the Cheltenham at their place, was that New Year's Day? I can't remember now. It was festive, wasn't it? And they had supporters there. That game, I wonder if obviously we didn't shut the game down. We got back into it and then we capitulated.
It's going to be very interesting because it's going to be a test of kind of like, Matt Taylor's nerve, really. I mean, do we keep attacking like we have done these last 2 games? Do we keep the same side, the 4-4-2, bombing on the wings? Does he opt for the, how we set up against Crawley?
I mean, that was a mistake. He must know that was a mistake.
Sure. But maybe he would think it was a mistake against Crawley.
Yes.
But maybe he would think, oh, no, but this actually, this is the right thing to do against Cheltenham and Tranmere. I mean, and maybe that's right. I don't know. I mean, it's not that formation's always been terrible for us. We've played like that most of the last few years, or a couple of years, or a lot of the time. with that kind of 5-3-2, 3-5-2 thing. So I won't be. If that happens, I won't just be suddenly like, okay, that's it. We'll have to see what happens. So.
Cheltenham had a mad game yesterday. It's Clough, isn't it, at Mansfield now? So it was away at Mansfield. 51 minutes they went ahead, Cheltenham, and then by 65th minute they were 3-1 down.
Right.
So I don't think Taylor needs to be afraid of. I would think our attacking best is better than the defending in our league.
Yeah, I mean that we've shown that all season.
I think
when we've been on it and when we've had everyone fit and available, we've shown that. And we beat Tranmere 5-0. Like I said, and we scored goals against all these teams. Scored goals against Cheltenham too. So I think I'd love to see it. Like I said earlier, us to just go for it, and keep, and at least we can say if we fail, we went out sort of giving it a good shot.
Yeah, and of course draws against any of our promotion rivals aren't a bad thing.
Well, in that they.
If we're trying to win.
At this stage, I think possibly they're not the best thing. But the problem is we've had too many draws already against teams we should have beaten.
That's true.
We've had a lot of draws this season. We've hardly lost any.
No.
But we've drawn too many where we should have won. And yeah, on paper, in isolation, a draw against Tranmere is okay. Against Cheltenham is good. But if you're talking about promotion, maybe that's not enough. So we need to win at least one of those games.
Yeah, we do. The autos are right on.
We're going to win the league,
Well, we could win the
trophy.
league.
They're going to get a trophy.
We could win the league.
I've never even seen a trophy.
You want to go up Trophy Master up Carrick Street. Look in the window.
I've seen one of them.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Most improved player, Beacon Knights, 1998.
Many congratulations. Still dining off it, we see.
Such a diss, isn't it? Most improved. I always stood by the fact that I didn't improve. They just didn't realise I was good until,
most
later
freshly
on.
Viewed.
I think they just weren't paying attention.
Fair enough.
It was subtle. What I was doing was subtle.
Well, what's going on similar with Exeter City? We're subtly working our way up the league, and everyone else is subtly working their way down the league. And like I said, there's 6 points between top and 8th. So the top 8 and maybe one below us are still in. But statisticians think 80 points will get you autos this year. 80 points.
Who are these statisticians?
I don't know, people, number crunchers, nerds, whatever you want to call
Boffins.
them. Dorks.
Right.
Those guys think that, 80 points will get you autos. 80 points.
Okay.
So City are currently on 53.
Well, we're never going to get 80 in that case.
Well, 27 points from the remaining 14 games. So that's less than 2 points a game.
Well, you can't get 2 points for a game. So
I realise that, thank you.
Is this one of your sort of... I don't know, is this something the nerds say? They think you can get 2 points for a game, do they? Get back to Games Workshop.
I would say that 2 points a game will get us there, the Holy Grail, in a normal season. But it's also worth saying any of those top 3 could just capitulate. They could be down to 1 point a game, which means you wouldn't need that many. And all 3 promotion spots.
Let's not forget that there's other teams coming up too. Look at Bolton, absolutely flying.
Yeah, well, they're above us, aren't they? But I would say that the people they'd be concerned... I would think that Cambridge would be very concerned, having had a big old lead. They're now equal on points with third place, and they played 2 games more. I think that will worry them. But in years gone past, it's always been, can we sneak the third automatic, hasn't it? That's always been the question. Can we sneak it? Now, like you've alluded to, like somewhat optimistically, but any of those top 8, probably not Salford in 9th, but any of the top 8, including us, could get first.
We're the only people mentioning us in this
and I think that's good
scenario. Yeah,
and I think that's partly because of the games in hand.
I agree, but if you listen to anything else, any kind of like League 2 output or read anything, Exeter City aren't in the conversation, And I think that's wrong. We should be, but we'll see. I think a lot. I'll be more likely to kind of get excited about it if we say we win the next 2 games.
If we win the next 2 games, everything changes.
Can we keep... I mean, that's like that early season form we had. We're starting to get back to something looking like that, and we're playing the same one. And I think, well, okay, how long did that last?
Yeah.
It wasn't far off 14 games. It was something like around that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And I tell you what, it's a shame, isn't it, that no one's allowed in to see any of this.
I know.
Look at that league. We were talking about the top 8, maybe even 9, in with a shout of not just... of potentially winning the league. You're still talking about someone in 8th position. Just like...
and we got to play all of them. We got to play all of them.
I know, and everyone's got to play each other, and everyone's losing, and everyone's winning, and it's like Bolton are coming up out of nowhere, and it's just such a shame that no one can go and watch it in person because it's absolutely amazing. And it's just like, if you don't like, I know it can be dreary sometimes, League Two football to watch, and you kind of think, what have I done to deserve this? Especially when you've paid a tenner to watch it, and I just sort of sat in my room eating my sad little tea, watching
What a picture he paints.
Exeter City get battered for a tenner.
What do you have battered for your tea?
Yeah, anything. I'll batter anything, me.
Fair enough.
Battered Mars bar from the Pyramids.
Wow.
No, opposite. What was it called?
King Neptune's gone, mate.
Neptune or Caples before that.
Oh, yeah.
Battered Mars bar. The rumour was that you could take anything in there and they batter it.
Every town has that chip shop where the rumour is they'll batter anything. Definitely. I definitely heard someone say they had a mini roll battered. Like some chip shop in mid-Devon.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Battered mini roll.
Oh, goodness me.
And the Easter special, the battered Cadbury's cream egg.
Oh, absolute beaut. Never had one.
That is delicious.
You ever had one?
Battered one?
Yeah.
Nah, never. I've had a battered Mars bar.
Have you?
Yeah.
Tasty?
It is too good.
Wow.
That's why they're not allowed to sell them, because they're too nice.
Well, now Brexit's happened, maybe they will be allowed. Those bureaucrats in Brussels have been holding us back.
What a time to be alive.
Anyway.
It was worth it all for the battered Mars bars, they'll say.
But we can't see any of it, so we're having to watch it through iFollow, exactly.
I know.
Dan
Imagine me
alluded
sat
to.
up there in my room eating a battered Mars bar.
Are the seagulls tapping on your roof still?
We are fast approaching bird season in my in my room. Got the broom handle at the ready.
If you don't know what we're talking about, listeners, you've got to go back about a season for the update on seagulls.
But yeah, and I think my point is that it's a shame, innit, that
Yeah, it really is.
I don't know, and it's so much better than Premier League football. If you know, you know. It's all about the EFL, VAR, signing players for millions of pounds. They don't play them. I sound like, I don't know. Do I want to become this person? I'm not sure I do.
No, well, anyway, nevertheless, this is what we've got. This is what we're blessed with, and we're going to enjoy it, even if it's through the medium of iFollow. Have you seen that the EFL have announced the dates for next season? So we're back on schedule, as it were.
Right. Okay.
First weekend of August, the games start. So they're obviously planning that, A, the season will run as normal, 21-22, and supporters will be in the ground. Now, I don't know, but I believe, from what I've read from the government, that will be as full as we want it to be.
Yeah.
I think that's the suggestion.
Well, yeah.
As long as nothing goes wrong in the meantime.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got to look forward to, isn't it? And
Don't find a St Sidwell's variant or anything along the way.
yeah, that would be no good.
Only if you've walked along that undercover bit, Sidwell Street by Iceland and Riley's and that. I mean, I could believe it if there was a St Sidwell's variant.
Could be dwelling under there.
Absolute.
Someone shouted at me under there just the other day for not wearing a mask.
Really?
Yeah.
You're outside.
I was running, ran past her, and she went.
I cross the road there now. I'll switch over to that other side by the old Halfords.
I think you got to embrace it. I think you might see all kinds of things.
You reckon? I mean, it's bad enough. The best of times.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID.
It's a different world.
Terry's
closed. Terry's takeaway
Well,
closed.
it was closed.
No, I mean it's closed, gone, kaput.
No.
Yeah. Sad state of affairs.
End of an era.
It is an end of an era. Where can I get some sort of sandwich with everything a fried breakfast would contain?
Yeah. Where can you get a baguette with chips in it now?
Don't know.
Nowhere.
Pre-COVID.
You try going into one of these, like fancy Instagram cafes now. These sort of like soul food, nourishing places, and go, "Can I have chips in a baguette?"
Yeah.
You get your head kicked in.
I don't think they do that, but I think they'd frown at you. I think they'd give you a sourdough bap and some pommes frites, and they'd tell you to make your own
Right.
with some, salted butter in a watering can. You had to scoop out. That's what they do, innit?
That sounds about right to me.
Yeah, bring back Terry's. Anyway, if you would like to bring back Terry's, the Big Bang Theory podcast would like to sponsor you. We'd love to. Imagine that.
What's we sponsoring here?
We'd sponsor Terry's. We
Right.
could even do a live show in there. Feels like our natural home.
That's the only. I'll say it right now. I'll go on record. I will only do a live show from Terry's Takeaway or whatever
All
it's
right,
called.
brilliant. And then maybe Terry's could sponsor the Big Bang Theory podcast.
Okay, yeah, I'd love that. Welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast, brought to you by Terry's.
Yeah, not the chocolate orange.
Not the chocolate. Do you know I know Terry?
Do you?
Well, I don't. Not anymore. But I used to be friends with his son back
did
when I was a
you?
kid. Yeah, been around his house many times. Had a lot
He's-
of free Terry's food.
This will just tell us everything you need to know about Devon. But he's also cousin of my mate's mum
There you go.
from Cully.
Everyone's someone's cousin.
Yeah, that's true enough. Anyway, get on, boy. If you want to get in touch with us about any of this stuff or more, you can email us, bigbankpod@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter @BigBankPod, or you can find us on Facebook as well, the Big Bang Theory Podcast. We love to hear from you. We love it. And we can't be together in person, so let's be together electronically.
Yes.
Get in touch with us in those ways about all the normal gubbins. Next week we'll be back earlier in the week because there's no Tuesday nights. That's kind of a big deal. Cheltenham Tranmere are 2 Saturdays, and they're 3 p.m. Dan, don't forget.
Are they now?
Yeah, back to 3 p.m., which I'm delighted about.
Yeah, that is good.
Obviously, Terry, the coach driver, deems it a sufficient drive home. Not too lengthy a drive home after both. So that's good. So we'll see you, I guess, Monday.
Yeah. Some point.
Anyway, look out for us, listener. It's a pleasure as always. My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.